Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on Undecember. So today we're going to go over the top 5 meta builds for Undecember. And this is what I consider to be the most played builds currently in the game. So right now, the current state, I think Fear Strike is Asia's #1 played. And then NA is probably Bow Boys, some type of bow skill. So yeah, let's just jump right into the video and let's start with my #1 pick. Okay, so at #1 we have Bow Boys. Okay, so I feel that Bow Boys on across the entire global region, I feel Bow Boys are the most played build out of every skill in the game. I feel like Bow Boys are the most seen and played build. Whether it's piercing arrow, blade of death, physical, whether it's icy arrow, frost shock element, whether it's cross chain lightning to lightning chain element. There's a bunch of different bow builds, and I feel like it's the #1 played build. So, bow build is going to definitely take the top spot for me on #1 played for global. So let's move on to #2, and #2 is going to be. Okay, so at #2 we have Spinny Boys, aka Whirlwind. Okay, there's several different Whirlwind builds. Obviously, the #1 play build between all 3 servers on global is Whirlwind Lightning Chain, which is the build that I'm currently playing, and that's what you see on the screen. Now, there are other Whirlwind builds. There's physical builds such as Whirlwind Blade of Death, etc. So there are other Whirlwind builds, but Whirlwind Lightning Chain is the most played, most popular across the global servers. So that is going to take the #2 spot, just under Bow Boys. I feel like there might be an equal amount. It's really hard to tell because there's a lot of private profiles, and yeah. So, but yeah, Spinny Boys takes #2 for me. So let's go ahead and move on to #3, and #3 is going to be. So at #3 we have Toxic Flame. Okay, this almost beats out the #1 and #2 builds, which is the Bow Boys and Whirlwind Spinny Boys. So uh now this is a part of Spinny Boys because Spinny Boys do use Toxic Flame. Whirlwind Toxic Flame is the meta build. So this could go into category #2, but Toxic Flame, people do direct cast Toxic Flame. There are direct casts. There's Toxic Flame wheel slash builds. There's Whirlwind Toxic Flame wheel slash. There's all types of Toxic Flame builds. Toxic Flame is pretty good. Requires a ton of investment late game to make it good. Insane amount of investment late game to make it good. You do probably need wheel slash to also make it good. You need a lot of hard to get link runes, etc. It's a pretty popular build, but it's again it has its up and downs. So that's why we're putting it at #3 for global. And yeah, so I mean, Toxic Flame #3, cool. I don't really like the ability. I used it for leveling only. It's pretty cheesy. You kind of just dot the mob, run away, and just stay away from the boss, and then dot the boss every 4 or 5 seconds. Keep refreshing your dots, and that's it. So it was a really boring skill to play. I didn't like it, but apparently a lot of people like it, so that's gonna take #3. Okay, so at #4 we have Fear Strike. This build, I'd say on Asia, it's probably 90% of the player base is Fear Strike. Most of them are physical. There are a few elementals, but most people play physical Fear Strike. I don't know why you would do element. Physical is the meta for it. Compared to other builds with like Bisque Gear, Charms, etc., Fear Strike is just it's uncomparable DPS wise to another build. There's a guy on Asia that's 8.8 billion DPS on a 120 dummy target. So I mean, Fear Strike is really powerful. It is a rare synth only, so you do have to get it through rare synthing. That's one of the downsides. Another downside, it does require a ton of gear. I mean, all builds really require a ton of gear. Let's be honest. Resistances are important, etc. But yeah, so Fear Strike, it's definitely going to take #4. I was almost going to put it at #3, but I think more people do play Toxic Flame. They're just not as high as Fear Strike. Like I said, Toxic Flame does fall off unless you have extremely good gear and pair it with Wheel Slash, etc. So I think Fierce Strike is going to just sit comfortably at number 4. But yeah, let's move on to number 5, our final most played build for global. Okay, so that brings us to our 5th and final build. Our number 5 position for most played builds global is going to be Fireballs. Mr. Fireball. So this is a really popular build. I see a lot of people playing it. They pair it with like Fire Torrent. It does a lot of damage. This guy that you're looking here, he's a persistence build. He's non-crit. So you can play it crit or non-crit. It's up to you. Again, I've said this a million times in previous videos. Non-crit is much easier to achieve. A lot easier to craft the gear for, etc. If you're a new player, go non-crit. Don't ever go crit. Don't go crit until like Act 13 or something. You're not ready, okay? So yeah, this is going to be my 5th and final build. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. And, you know, maybe like the video if you liked it, etc. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.